Have you ever thought about what makes a movie truly perfect? It's a huge question, right? But actor Matt Damon has an answer, and it's a good one. He thinks the movie is the perfect horror film. He called it simple and magnificent, and honestly, he's spot on. The movie came out way back in 1975, but it still feels as fresh and terrifying today as it did when our parents first saw it. It's the kind of film that gets under your skin and stays there, making you think twice before dipping your toes in the ocean. It's just that powerful. What makes so special? It's not just about a giant shark eating people, although that's definitely part of it. The real magic is in how the story is told. It's a tale of three very different guys, a police chief, a scientist, and a grizzled fisherman, who have to come together to fight a monster. Their journey is what pulls you in. You care about them, you root for them, and you feel their fear. It's a human story at its heart, and that's why it connects with so many people, even after all this time. It's an adventure that feels real. The film completely changed the game for Hollywood. Before, summer was a slow time for movies, but this film was so huge, so popular, that it created the idea of the summer blockbuster. It was an event. Everyone had to see it. People lined up around the block to get tickets, and the shared experience of being scared together was incredible. It showed studios that if you have a great story and build enough excitement, you can create a cultural phenomenon. It really set the standard for all the big summer movies that came after it. Now, as we celebrate its 50th anniversary in 2025, it's amazing to see how much love there still is for this film. It's not just a nostalgic trip. New generations are discovering it and being just as terrified as audiences were in 1975. Matt Damon's praise reminds us that great art doesn't get old. Is a perfect example of how a simple premise, executed with incredible skill and creativity, can become something truly timeless. It's more than just a movie. It's a piece of cinema history that continues to inspire and frighten us all. One of the most brilliant things about is what you see. The director, a very young Steven Spielberg, made a bold choice. Instead of showing the giant mechanical shark in every scene, he decided to hide it. For most of the movie, you only get hints of the monster. You see a fin slicing through the water, you see the aftermath of an attack, or you see the fear in the character's eyes. This decision was key. It forced the audience to use their imagination, and what we imagine is always way scarier than what we can see on screen. This technique is all about building suspense. It's like a slow-burn horror story. Spielberg teases the audience, making them wait and wonder when the shark will finally appear. He uses the camera to put you right in the water, making you feel vulnerable and exposed. You feel like you are the one swimming, completely unaware of the danger lurking just beneath the surface. This less is more approach creates a constant feeling of dread. The tension just keeps building and building until you're sitting on the edge of your seat, barely able to breathe. It's a masterclass in filmmaking. Think about the opening scene. You don't see the shark at all. You just see a young woman go for a late-night swim, and then suddenly, she's pulled under. The horror comes from the unseen force, the silent, deadly predator beneath the waves. Spielberg understood that the shark was more powerful than the shark itself. By keeping his monster in the shadows, he turned the entire ocean into a place of terror. Every wave, every shadow could be the shark. That's why the film is so effective at creating pure psychological fear. Of course, we can't talk about the suspense without mentioning the music. Composer John Williams created one of the most iconic scores in movie history. That simple two-note theme, dun 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 dun, is basically the sound of impending doom. It acts as the shark's theme song, signaling its approach even when you can't see it. The music and the visual suspense work together perfectly. The music tells you the shark is coming, and your own mind fills in the terrifying blanks. It's an incredible combination that makes the film an unforgettable experience. Here's a fun fact. The reason Spielberg hid the shark so much wasn't just a creative choice. It was also a necessity. The mechanical shark they built for the movie, nicknamed Bruce after Spielberg's lawyer, was a total disaster. It hardly ever worked correctly. It would sink, its skin would wrinkle, and it just looked fake a lot of the time. The production was a nightmare, going way over budget and over schedule. Spielberg was so stressed out, he thought his career might be over before it even really began. Everyone was frustrated. But this huge problem turned into a huge blessing. Because the shark was so unreliable, Spielberg had no choice but to find other ways to create fear. He had to get creative. He was forced to shoot around the shark, using barrels, fins, and the reactions of the actors to suggest its presence. It was a classic case of turning a limitation into an opportunity. This happy accident is what led to the suspenseful, less is more approach that Matt Damon and so many others have praised. The film became better of its problems, not in spite of them. This is a great lesson for anyone trying to make something. Sometimes, the biggest challenges lead to the most brilliant solutions. Spielberg didn't give up when his main special effect failed. Instead, he leaned into the storytelling. He focused on the characters, the atmosphere, and the power of suggestion. He proved that you don't need fancy, expensive effects to scare an audience. All you need is a good story, a clear vision, and the ability to adapt when things go wrong. It's a testament to his genius as a filmmaker, even at that early stage in his career. The result was a film that felt much more real and terrifying. If the shark had worked perfectly and been on screen the whole time, the movie might have felt more like a cheesy monster flick. But because it was hidden, it became a mysterious, almost supernatural force of nature. The broken shark forced Spielberg to make a smarter, scarier, and more artistic movie. It just goes to show that sometimes the best things happen by accident. The troubled production of ultimately created a masterpiece that has stood the test of time for half a century. It's hard to believe, but 2025 marks the 50th anniversary of 50 years. That's a long time for any movie to stay popular, but is not just any movie. Its recent 50th anniversary re-release in theaters was a huge success, proving that people are still eager to experience that thrill on the big screen. Fans still gather for events, like the one on Martha's Vineyard where the movie was filmed, celebrating its impact. Actors like Richard Dreyfuss, who played Hooper, are still greeted with standing ovations. This film is more than just entertainment. It's a cultural touchstone that connects generations. Didn't just scare audiences, it also launched the career of one of the greatest directors of all time. Steven Spielberg became a household name after. The film's incredible success gave him the freedom to make other legendary movies and he became the king of the blockbuster, and it all started on the troubled waters of Amity Island. The film changed the business of movies, but it also gave us a filmmaker who has been shaping our cinematic dreams for 5 decades. It's a legacy that is truly incredible. So why is still so important today? It's because it reminds us of the power of simple, effective storytelling. In an age of billion-dollar budgets and overwhelming CGI, stands as a testament to the idea that a great story, compelling characters, and masterful suspense are what truly matter. It shows filmmakers that you don't need to show everything to have a big impact. Sometimes, what you leave to the imagination is the most powerful tool you have. It's a lesson that continues to influence directors and storytellers to this day. In the end, Matt Damon was right. It's a simple and magnificent film. It's a perfect machine, just like the shark itself. It's built to do one thing, scare you. And it does it better than almost any other movie out there. For 50 years, it has been the benchmark for suspense, and the reason many of us look at the ocean with a little bit of fear and a lot of respect. It's a timeless classic that proves that a truly great idea, even one born from a broken mechanical shark, can last forever.